Hi, welcome back to the Grocery Ninja. I should tell you why I call myself Grocery Ninja. It was started off as a joke with my son. I came back very excited several months back because I had gotten great deals. I managed to get a turkey and a bunch of salad dressings and a few other things. And with points and coupons and sales, I managed to get all of it for $8 and change. And it normally would have come to over $50. So I thought, wow, that's a savings of 42 bucks just because I was shopping the sales, using coupons, using reward points. And I thought, oh, that's great. And he came back and he said, "You're like a grocery ninja." And I said, "Grocery ninja, I like that. I think I'll use it." And kind of the joke stuck. And then I thought, well, why not use it? Because you do have to be like a ninja, stealthy and making smart moves and impactful moves that will defeat your enemy. And the enemy we have right now is inflation. So that's why I'm calling myself Grocery Ninja now. And it started as a joke with my son. But anyway, I think we all need to try to be a little bit stealthy in our shopping, smart, not making decisions that will end up wasting money, wasting food. And speaking of wasting food, did you know that 58% of the food in North America that is produced ends up in landfills? I know. There is efforts that are being made by food companies and food rescue organizations to try to mitigate some of that. But, you know, it's not nearly enough. We can, if we're smart, as a culture, as a people across North America, stop wasting food because there's no need of it. And there's people without. So, you know, if we can divert more of that food, if we can be smarter at home, starting in our own kitchens, in our own pantries, in our own refrigerators, to try and stop wasting food. We are part of the solution, not part of the problem. So by looking at what we have, by shopping intentionally, by having a purpose for every little bit of food we bring into our house so that it gets consumed rather than thrown out, we're helping, not hurting the planet. And if we can't eat it, then we need to make sure that other people can have access to it. So anyway, I'm starting in my own kitchen. I'm singing from my own song sheet, and I hope that you are taking steps to be part of the solution too. And, you know, it's helping the environment, but it starts with helping yourself and your family and making sure you're eating well, on a budget, food that you can afford, and it's intentional shopping and not paying full price for things, but waiting for sales and buying as much food or growing as much food as you can and saving that food, preserving that food if you have an abundance through freezing, through canning, through dehydrating. Some people have freeze dryers. I don't, but I'd love to have one because that is a great way to preserve food long term. Anyway, I'm going to go into my fridge today and see what perishables I have that need to be used up right away and what can wait. And I'm going to make a menu plan based off of the foods that I have in the fridge and what's in the pantry. But I especially want to make sure that I'm using up meats, produce, dairy, to make sure that I don't throw them in the garbage. I don't want to do that. I paid good money for it. You're paying good money, too much money for groceries these days. So I'm going to make a list. I will show you what I have and talk a little bit about my plan for some of it. And then I'll go armed with a list of what I have, the meals I plan to make, and what I need to round out the menu that I prepare based off of what I already have at home and based off of the sales flyer. I see in the sales flyer there is a buy one, get one free on steaks and roasts at Sobeys. Now remember, the other day I went shopping, and with loyalty points from Sobeys, I managed to collect 8,700 points, which is worth $87. So I know exactly what I'm going to do with that free shopping. I'm going to buy some of that beef. We have beef from local beef farmer that's a friend of the family's, and we buy beef, and I still have lots of hamburger, but I don't have any roasts or steaks, so I'd love to pick up some of that. I think, you know, I know beef's expensive, so when it's buy one and get one free, if you like beef, like our family does, you know, it makes sense to stock up, and it really makes sense to stock up when you get $87 worth of free grocery shopping. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. But today I need to make my list. So come with me and I'll show you what I've got on hand. Okay, so I've just gone through my refrigerator to get the produce and dairy and meats out and have a look at them to see what kind of shape they're in. I want to use up this before I go grocery shopping next. And so I'm starting here with the mushrooms. They're starting to look a little worse for wear, so these I'm going to cook tonight for supper. There's a half a red onion, 3/4 of a red onion. That needs to be used up. I just used that yesterday, but I would prefer to use that as soon as possible. 2 pre-made salads that I picked up from Costco last week, and they're at their best before, so they need to be eaten today and tonight, and so we'll have it with lunch and supper. There's 3 heads of romaine lettuce, and I also have some bacon bits there. I know I have Parmesan cheese in the fridge, and I do have a bottle of dressing that I can make a Caesar salad with, or I can make homemade because I have all the ingredients for a homemade Caesar salad. Half cobs of corn. Probably have that with my lunch or supper because that needs to be used up. Got some deli meats here. Antipasto. They need to be used up because they've been open, so I'll probably make a charcuterie board for supper tonight, and or have them for hors d'oeuvres before supper. My brother and his wife and son are coming, so that'd be nice to have with some cheese and crackers. I've got 3 packages of cream cheese. I know I have 2 containers of sweetened condensed milk. My son loves cheesecake, and he's not going to be upset if I make a cheesecake for him. Okay, in the way of other cheeses, I've got half a package of cheese slices, but I just went to the store yesterday and got some more cheese slices that were on sale and gave me reward points back. This is mozzarella cheese and sharp cheddar cheese, so I've got plenty of cheese. Here's some Greek yogurt. I got half a container here. I've got a full container here. The best before date on that is September 15th, so plenty of time, no need to worry. And, you know, yogurt I never really worry about because I don't really believe in best before dates. Your nose will tell you. You can do a visual inspection on things like sour cream and yogurt, and you can tell right away if it's off. I mean, it's sour cream and it's cultured yogurt, so you're not going to get in too much trouble with that. These are dips that I just bought the other day. They'll be fine. I'll have chips out for people if they want to eat those tonight when people gather. I've got half a bottle of Miracle Whip there. I use that quite frequently when I make my Caesar salad because there's eggs in it, and it's a really quick and easy homemade Caesar salad dressing if you make it with a Miracle Whip. Some lemon juice and some garlic and some Parmesan cheese. So I've got about 1 liter of whole milk there. That's not going to go past its best before date for sure, September 2nd, because my son, who's an adult, loves milk and he drinks it quite frequently, and that'll get used up probably by tonight or tomorrow. I've got a huge unopened bag of vanilla yogurt, and it really is coming close to its best before. Like I said, I don't worry about yogurt, but that's quite a bit. How many grams is that? That's 2 kilograms. So 2 kilograms is like 4.4 pounds of yogurt. I'm going to have to get the smoothie maker out and the blender, get some fruit. I know I've got berries in the freezer and plenty of bananas, so we're going to have some smoothies on the menu, and nobody's going to be upset about that either because everybody around here loves smoothies. So that is what I've got in the way of perishables. And so, yeah, we've got to get these eaten up quickly. And I'm going to be going to the grocery store in the next day or two. And I will make note of what I have here and what I need. And that is one way to save money at the grocery store. So you're not buying duplicates of things you already have, and making sure you use up what you've already purchased so you're not wasting money. Okay, speaking of produce, I got half a bag of little potatoes. They're really great if you wash them, cut them, put a little oil and garlic on them with salt and pepper and put them in the air fryer. They're delicious. And big potatoes. I've got sweet potatoes here. I've got large, huge. I mean, look at that. It's bigger than my hand. So that's good for 2 or 3 people. My husband doesn't really like sweet potatoes or potatoes. And my son loves them. I love them too. And so we've got to use these up. They've been sitting around for a few weeks. They're still good, but I don't want them to go wrinkly. And so I'm going to use those up. I might have those for supper. Yes, I will. I'll have those for supper, or the small potatoes. Along with, I was thinking about I've got a thawed package of hamburger that I need to use up that I took out yesterday, and it's in the fridge. So I might make some sweet and sour meatballs with rice, or I've got a package of chicken tenders in the freezer. I'll thaw those and do a balsamic chicken with the little potatoes or large potatoes. And I've got this bowl full of lemons. I was using it as a decoration in a glass bowl on my dining room table, but some of them are starting to look a little worse for wear. And so I'm going to go through them. I'm not going to throw them out. I will juice them. I will use the peels that does a lot of good if you put it in your sink drain, or rub your sink with it. The lemon scent is nice, and sometimes I will take the peels and put them in with vinegar, and it makes a really nice natural cleaner. So I'm not going to let those go to waste, but I do need to use them up. So that's what I have to work with. Lots of dairy, cheese, yogurt, sour cream. I've got lots of produce there that I can work with over the next few days. I'm going to base my menu off of that for tonight's supper when my brother comes over and his family, and then I'll go from there. I'm going to look in the sales flyers to see what I'm out of and what might be on sale. And like I said, I never pay full price for anything. I don't care if I'm out of it. I'll wait till it goes on sale and pick it up then, and for however much I can afford that's in my budget. But so glad you came along with me today to have a look at what's in my fridge and what I need to use up, and talking about how we can live in our kitchens intentionally, preparing the food that we already have in our fridge before it spoils, not over shopping and not letting food go to waste, because there's way too much of that in the world, and we don't want that because it's not good for the planet and it's not good for our wallets. So thanks for coming along. If you like what you're seeing me do here, I hope you'll come back, and maybe you'll give me a like and share it with other people who are looking for ways to save money on their groceries. Okay, Grocery Ninja, talk to you later. Bye-bye.